there's no live. Hey, welcome everybody. I totally should have Reno doing this because my camera is having seizures, man. I'm telling you. I can say that. I can joke like that because I'm epileptic, so that's a disclaimer. But I'm just saying it is sideways up in here. Like I'm gonna kill this one. My screen is just going like pixelated, and then it's just tweaking out. So I think it might have got a little bit of too much heat. But welcome to Rookeycomics for 8/10/2025, our 19th stream, guys. Like we've had a couple minor ones, like small ones that we did for tests and different things like that. But this is like our 19th stream. Pretty excited about it. But we're going to get going real quick here.
I kind of want Reno to do a Good Morning Vietnam right there. Well, it's just him.
Right?
Good morning, Vietnam!
May you rest in peace, Mr. Williams. I miss Robin, man. Lots of claps. Miss him. Like I was telling everybody else, I am not going to be with you in vision, so I am not wearing pants right now. So that's what's going on, like there's no, it's not, these guys,
How do they know that we're not wearing?
Yeah, these guys dress to impress, but know that I am at home drinking pixie sticks or eating pixie sticks and not wearing clothes. So, take that for what it is. But I don't have to worry about that right now. You guys got it. You got the looks for us today. Mike, what's our thoughts on a narrative? What did we call it? Look, I'm right here. I covered it.
We talk about the art process, but
yeah,
what is the process from an idea? And I gotta work on my camera because I'm talking on screen. To getting an idea to down on paper and then to you. And ultimately, we've told our story with EVIC how, the original idea was inspired by playing Minecraft with my kids.
Right.
But then where do you go from there? Well, in our case, I had written down a bunch of stories that my kids and I had come up with, and then I sent you the script, and you liked it, right? And you started drawing, and you kind of went your own route with an individual and kind of an idea you had, and the next thing I know, that gave me a storyline to run with based off of an idea, and it became a lot more personable.
Right.
From the, and so we kind of wanted to go through where Wielder of E.V.I.C book 2 is the origin of woe, and every other book when we release them, the evens are going to be the origin of woes in sequence. And right now, Walter's working on page 2. We always say page 1 is the title, is the cover page. And so he is taking off right from the back of page of the...
page 2 of 4.
Right off.
Yeah.
What's that?
So this is page 2 of book 4, which is Origins of Woe 2. So yeah.
Well, it's just really funny because when we came up with Origins of Woe, it was actually, we presented our books. We'd send in Wielder of E.V.I.C to... our printer, Print USA, correct?
Printing Center USA, yes.
For you to approve book Woe was how they'd broken it up, right?
Yeah.
And we ran with it. So
right.
Lots of times the idea is actually someone else's goof, and then you run with it. And so we wanted to talk about, everybody's kind of place in the whole narrative process and the creative process. Reno's being pretty quiet right now. He wasn't really a big part of the first one as far as writing it and even the editing, but he was a huge part in the Judgment books. But it was amazing once we started on this book in particular. And we're going to put you on the spot, Reno. What did you bring to the table?
Because we talked about this. Me and Walter
point him right out. But I would like to
Yeah.
hear from you. What did you bring to the table when we presented this book and got going on it in the narrative process?
I read the storyline and saw what you were wanting, and then when Walt started drawing it out, I started thinking of different twists and tweaks we could do it to keep the same storyline, but to make the actual story come more alive in the book, to where when you're reading it, it actually leaves that image in your head as you're reading it, to where if you were to read it, you wouldn't even need a picture. You just know that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So I brought in more of the narrative side to it, like a graphic novel kind of picture to it, where you wouldn't need a picture to understand what's happening in this book. You can just read it and be able to see it in your mind as you read it, the way we got everything.
Well, a lot of it was page by page, right? Like we would present the next page. You had never seen it before.
Yeah.
Me and Reno might have been, or me and Walter might have been working over that page and gotten the whole book. A lot of the imaging figured out. I had the story, but you'd see the page for the first time, and you had a vision that you were able to put together, and an open-mindedness that was huge part of that creative process.
Yeah, it's always nice doing this stuff, to have a fresh set of eyes, on something. Comes in, like you said, you guys will work on a book for a week or two, and we'll do a start live, and like, all right, well, it's your turn. We're gonna show you page by page, and that's kind of where I.
Well, it was really good.
Yay!
Are you able to turn the page on that cover?
Yeah, I am. And to get to that point, I wish we would have lived like some of that process, because it was so funny. Like, we had so much fun. We were in this book until 2. It was 1 or 2 in the morning, because we just couldn't stop. Like we just couldn't. Like, we were having so much fun with it, and just going step by step, and we have the narrative, right? Like, everybody that watches our stream that's been hanging out with us through these last 19 shows knows. So, like, when Mike and I got together, we're like Walt, like, dude, comic relief. Like, seriously, like when we got to writing these our narrative words, looking at the picture, understanding what that story that it told, and then, like, how do we portray, like, what are we missing, what do we need to portray, and, like, what came out of it was gold.
But our dialogue king is that guy up there, that Baldy.
Yeah.
He's our dialogue guy.
Right.
So, it's cool, though, because you saw from that cover page, it was full color. And Reno and I actually teamed up, didn't we, Reno? To convince Walter to go
black and white.
Colorless.
Yeah.
And I think it was actually Reno helping to explain, like, hey, it's contrast. There's going to be a lot of contrast that's going to bring to life. And that's where your understanding of contrast and explaining and helping Reno, or helping Walter with just little, hey, contrast that out, contrast this out. I had to sit back and shut my mouth and just let you guys work. It was awesome.
Yep.
It's always awesome when you step back and wait, what?
Hey, shut up.
That's awesome.
It comes down to, like this page right here. I remember when he first had it, had the blast coming in, and we had the lighting on the wrong side of everything, and it just didn't make sense looking at the image.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I'm like, okay, hold on, we need to move, either make the meteor come up from over here, or change the lighting on the hills there and on the side of the head and the hand.
Right.
And everything, and then throwing in having the narrative, but then doing the speech boxes. I threw in a lot of them too. That's like, hey, instead of having to say that, let's have it be a thought bubble.
Yeah.
And
it really helped on the thought bubbles.
Yeah.
It gives a lot of suspense to the next page as to what's going to happen, especially with the thought bubbles, because they're thinking it. Nobody else on that page is going to know what they're saying. Well, then next page is going to come to life and be like, oh crap, yeah, I should have said something.
So yeah, we just took from one spot, and a lot of patience on Walter's part. I mean, that first page, he probably drew a lot more for that, and we eliminated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you have like a whole scene out for that sign, that marquee, like with buildings and everything, and we cut it clear down to just a sign?
Yeah, we cut it down to that, like what, half of a sign in the bar.
Yeah, that sign was actually down on the lower left, originally showing everything in the background. It was actually just a full page of one image originally, I believe.
Yeah.
Then we split it up and were able to get more
Because we
story.
do panel by panel, and then you're putting them all into a page and making it all fit. And so there's a process there to making it tell a story, and replacing narrative with actual, thought bubbles, communication, and letting the pictures tell the story and not the narrative as much. And that was a learning process for me.
Right.
And so comic book telling, I mean, there's a lot less of that actual like novel narrative and more of a little bit explaining the image, because the image is telling the story, right?
Right.
So I don't know how much we wanted to go into or just show the pages as you're drawing there, but tell everybody what you're doing real quick, Walter.
Well, I think what we're doing today, I mean, just to recap, I mean, that was great information. Just to recap what we're doing today, what we want to portray today is the thought process that goes behind narrative to art, then back to narrative, right? And so what we're going to be doing today is Mike's going to read us the narrative from Origin of Woe, and we're going to go page by page on it. And then we're going to be, and you'll get to see the art, the whole process. We're not going to go through the bubbles. So like, as right now, like, try not to pay attention as much to the wording on it and different things. Just, like, listen to the story, enjoy that storyline, and then picture it as we go. And then we're going to show you our narrative for page 2 of Origin of Woe 4. Origin of Woe 2.
So that's what you're
Book
scribbling.
4.
You're drawing.
Yes,
You're drawing.
and that's what I'm drawing right now. Is I'm finishing up the penciling of Origin of Woe 2. So
And
book 4.
Old style. I'm reading from a comic book, but he's casting it for you. Hopefully you can see it. Blow up your screen. Zoom in if you guys need to, but or go buy the book.
So the cover, yeah, come buy the book. Here, the cover here. You can go back and watch that stream. We did this live.
Yep.
We inked and colored this one live. That was a lot of fun.
There's a lot of messages going back and forth as to what kind of helmet we were looking for and comment ideas, and I mean that was
a lot of our users helped. Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yep.
Yeah.
So as I narrate through this, feel free to chime in and explain thoughts that came to you at any point. Okay?
One thing that will be kind of clunky for this, so Mike and Walt, if you can help me out, I'm going to be drawing while you guys are reading and stuff. So just tell me when you want to go to page 2 or 3, and then and forward.
Okay.
I can't read it, so.
So top left, I'll tell you guys where to take your eye. You open the page, and it's let's call him Martian. The dad goes, and they're in a hospital bed, and dad goes, Marty for short. And then we've got a marquee that says Marty, first natural birth on Mars. And now there's dialogue and things that will make sense as we continue to tell the story. My wording was chosen the way it is, even just as far as first natural birth on Mars. So just keep that in mind. Down to the next image. My parents are scientists in charge of R&D for the Galactic Research Alliance. So they're definitely, I mean, we've implied it's on Mars by just a couple little implications there. I was 6 when the comet passed by on a collision course to Earth. What's that, Mama? We see a little kid in a spacesuit. And Walter, what does she announce? You know it? I know you can't read it.
He's like,
The end of the world as we know it.
the
end of the world as we know it.
That was
So that's one of the Easter eggs. So those of you who watched our lives in the past, we have Easter eggs in almost every book we have. And
Yeah.
Not just one, not just two. There's probably a dozen in every book.
or so. I think it was like 30 on this one. We had so much fun.
So we do
Writing these.
we have shout-outs. Shout-outs to music, shout-outs to
Movies, sci-fi movies, comic books, everything.
and they're not necessarily direct. Go ahead and change that page if you get a second.
I'm here for you, buddy.
Swipe up, swipe up.
Okay. Top left. One night, my curiosity led me to the observation center. So we have a young boy climbing out of the messy bed, right? And there's a Easter egg in there, but I'm not going to point it out. Where I watched the comet miss the moon. Then we go on down. My parents did not want me to watch the destruction of Earth. And we have a little like telescope sticking through, and he's kind of pulling back, and he says, "It missed Earth, right?" And then we've got a big scene of destruction of kind of a city being destroyed. We didn't show a big blast or anything like that. We just kind of made it personal with a good view. And then, whose idea was the breaking news? Was that you, Reno, at first?
Yes.
And then,
Yep.
And then Mr. You guys ran with that one. I thought it was great. In fact, you guys told me to shut up for a minute.
let's run this by you, and then like just consider it. I think is what we were saying, and it just kind of came together. But that's completely normal when you have like when you put your heart and your soul into something, like that's your baby, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's you talk about it.
Step back, dude.
Yeah. You talk about it with your friends at work. You talk about it with your family. They're looking for it. You know, you don't want something to come out and be like, Mike, this isn't like at all what you told us about. You know, but so it's important. But
Definitely, and it fits. So I mean, it just made that page. Breaking news: SFS update. Attention! Fragments of the comet. Billions killed in comet collision. It is unclear at this point to what the total damage and death count is. The SFS has taken over domestic relief of the apocalyptic event. You just see, no! Earth's on fire with a kind of a devastated kid sitting down. Again, we're living things up to the imagination. Because in my story, I wanted a lot to be told, and it did get told, but it allowed me to step back, right? And go, this tells the story. So go ahead and change the page if you can. And this is where it really came together.
this actually, yeah, and this page right here, I don't think, did we do that on live? What did we do that on?
We did it on a live, and originally it was going to be our cover photo, but we scrapped it, decided that was too much for a cover.
Right.
Which it would have been a dynamic cover, but we stole it for, and we've done that a lot, where he's done something and we're like, can we steal that for a different image?
Right. Or we save it, and then I erase it on my laptop, whatever.
And this page right here is where I really started getting into the speech bubbles. Like there with the red alert, with the electric static note coming out of it, and
that definitely, and that was your idea. I remember, like, hey, give me a speech bubble like it's an announcement. And then again, that was another one. Like, just let me tell him, and you told him exactly what to say. It was perfect.
then down on the bottom where he's saying, "Bleep bleep, we aren't alone," or "Are we alone?" That I actually Googled how you would say that word. and simple. Yep. And that's what we put into it. So.
And this was such a dynamic image. SFS update, red alert. Citizens of Mars are shocked as they watch the destruction of Earth. And this guy in his spacesuit, you see the reflection in his suit, which it's amazing. And this was another walkthrough with Reno with the lighting. Hey, lighten this part up, lighten this up. Add light to those lines, and I just had to sit back and go, you guys are doing great. So, and I don't know if you did it on purpose, but there's totally a guy standing in front of it, looks like he's flipping somebody off.
He's
fingers up in the air.
Yeah.
Again, a little Easter egg. Maybe I wasn't supposed to point that one out.
I love it. We all have our favorites, though. You know.
Go ahead and change your page.
You're doing so good, Walt.
Rocking it, baby. Rocking it.
Rocking that page changer. Hey, you kind of got me off center there.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I'm looking at mine.
The page. Shit, are we alone? And we got aliens. Years later, reports of extraterrestrial activity had been reported around the dead Earth. Friend or foe? Thinking like this is some kind of radio announcer, right? Like 30 style. Hey guys, we alone? Are we? Has this been spotted?
And what TV old cartoon show did we base all of these buildings and everything off of?
Well, right.
I'd have been inspired by my trip to Seattle, but might have been inspired by the Jetsons.
May or may not have been.
May or may not have something to do with it. But.
And I love that image of him up in the air, like, and this kid just thinking, like, is this an alien? And I remember going, hey, I don't know if this is what the aliens are going to look like, guys. And it doesn't matter. It didn't matter. Who pointed that out? Was that another one that was Reno?
Yeah.
It's just a kid thinking here. Another thought bubble. Hey, I got a great idea for a thought bubble. Like, oh, he's got a lot for us here. I mean, he really built it up. I'm like, okay, what is it? And you go, okay. Get it big. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. What? Really?
You're speechless.
And another one was just perfect. It was like a tabloid page, right out of the tabloids.
Yep.
So, go ahead and turn the page. Which just kind of is a turning point for the story. We left a lot kind of unsaid, but things that will start to be told and come together. This one is?
One of them.
You had a lot of fun with this one. I'll let you explain that when I get to that point, so just kind of get ready. So up to the top we have a guy read it on I think of like Caesar. What's his name? Hunger Games, the news reporter guy.
Yeah. Yep.
And you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
And you didn't see aliens. And it's got a sign in the background that even says SFS agenda. And people have asked me, like, what is the SFS? And it's the Space Force Supreme.
So what else is there? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then I had a person go, "Oh, did you steal that from Trump?" I'm like, no.
I'm like, what?
What thanks?
No.
No. That is funny though.
Yes.
But he's screaming, "We're not alone. We're supreme." Or we are alone. We're supreme. Lies. And the guy holding up. This was great. Like, protest instead of a sign. He's actually. And this was Walter. Holographic image of "We're not alone." Protester and a soldier going, "Shut up, dude." That was great. Rebels will be imprisoned. Eyes front, rebel scum. And you got guys getting marched into a prison. and you kind of have a angle down, looking down a corridor. And this was great because you drew this image, and we didn't know who this person was going to be at first, right?
Right.
We had our whole book done, and we came back through, and I was like, okay, I got to add a couple characters in, and we changed some dialogue, and it was wonderful. This girl up front yelling, "Freedom!" And this guy in the back goes, "Don't antagonize them, Allison."
Allison came later, right? Like,
Yep.
it was, yeah.
But we went, like, I was having Allison look through my book with me, and she goes, "Oh, is that me?"
Right. And we're
And
like,
so
yep.
wrote that reaction.
Right.
You're like, 9 bars where you belong. That's my 17-year-old daughter. And when we said, "Don't antagonize them, Allison," she was like, "Perfect. That is so my personality."
Yes, it is.
All right, so explain your bottom image here.
All right. So, of course, on all the buildings, we had all of our sponsors. We got this, what's that, Center Plumbing, I believe. And then the words. I don't know if anybody knows any of this.
Harris Plumbing, right? Yep. Harris Plumbing.
Harris Plumbing. Yep.
And then,
Man Zone's on there. Attic Tactical.
Did we get Ted
I don't know if I got Terry on there. He's coming later. He's.
No, he stuck him in like I think we took him out because we weren't ready for him yet.
Right.
Empowered martial arts on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we got the information center there. But the wording is coming down just like it does at the beginning of every Star Wars movie, the original Star Wars. So that was just kind of a fun twist I put in there because we originally had it. He was just going to have it all in just one big block, just there in front, going over the picture. And I said, well, how about we do this? Start small, work your way big.
Yeah, because he had this image drawn perfectly empty roadway, didn't he?
Yeah.
Empty roadway. And we were just going to put the words all on there just over the picture. And I was like, how about we do this? Save the picture so we don't cover your artwork, which I know you enjoy.
We do all the time, though. It's all good.
We do it all the time, but this right here is it's such a detailed, and we spent a lot of time on it. And I really didn't want to take that away from it, especially with the sponsors on there,
Yeah.
And I loved Walter's little Shakespearean script at the top, "Silence to the People." I remember that was like the icing on the top. Like, he just made it Star Wars scroll coming down, and then you put "Silence to the People" and a Shakespearean scroll over the top of the scene, and it, to me, just was like, this is awesome. This came to life.
Yes.
So, yes, good job on that one, Marino. Hey, go ahead and give us the next page if you can. And this was fun, too. We kind of had some extra help, and you drew images and then realized who you'd drawn, or came back. Like, I remember we had this and we weren't finished. We hadn't put our final stamp on it. And my nephew that lives in Missouri had said, "Uncle Mike, is there a way I can be in your book?" And as I was looking through it, I was like, actually, I got him right there. And so this top scene is soldiers dragging a guy off, and you'd already said, out of the bubble, he was just speaking the truth. But we didn't have the guy getting dragged off say anything. And I was like, hey, let's throw a shout out to my nephew right here. And so his dad's yelling, "Ryder, tell your mom I love her." And that's just a little like tie-in shout out to my nephew in Missouri. And it just helps to make this book personal. Then we go over and we have some propaganda. SFS wants you. Obviously, it's from our own war propaganda, right? And inspired by it. And you got aliens going lies. And then we have a sign that says, "The future is bright." And who's that one there, Reno? How do we personalize that?
I can't see it.
Oh, we
Who's
got.
the star? Biggest reason?
He's sitting over on the table watching Conan.
Aurora, yep.
Oh, sorry, I'm ahead of you. Never mind.
Oh, we got Aurora there.
Yeah, the future is bright. And was it you that was like, "Oh, that looks a lot like my daughter"?
It does, yep.
I went through and
And we're actually
Should have pigtails on that day too. That's the best part.
right.
What was that?
Yep.
I went through and I had just found all of these like propaganda and posters from any time in history where I could find them. So many out there and ones to choose from, and then did some research on, aliens and different things like that. And I mean, we've got Squirrel poking his head over the shoulder of the alien in there, and I don't know if
And Cass got Squirrel in here twice.
so, but I mean, it was just
I didn't tell him where to find Squirrel earlier.
right, and but just trying to make like little key moments that people will start to expect, and then realistic too, and just put ourselves back in this time frame, like or ahead in this time frame. If this was to happen, like we had an intergalactic war, right? Basically, where
I when I wrote this up, thought of like this is space Nazi time period.
yeah,
And
right.
so
what would that look like?
What would this look like? And let's do this. And I think a lot of space movies do that to their own extent, and I love it. So down in the middle, we got They Won't Shut Up, They Won't Eat. Again, they're just yelling propaganda. We got a guy reading off, and this actually, to me, I thought right back to like Julius Caesar type, the guy reading a scroll in front of the Colosseum. Was that where you were going with that?
Absolutely. You think about living on a planet that, I mean, hasn't been inhabited for a long time, and the what we'd have to go through to grow food, provide for people, different things. And if we inhabit said building or planet, like, you better have a government in place before you get there, or one will create itself, and they'll be in control of all that stuff. So in this moment, we make that time to just kind of say, they're not gonna have food. Like, if they're gonna rebel, they're gonna push back on us. Then they don't get their rations. They don't get their portions.
And that's what he says there. He says those caught spreading propaganda will be refused daily rations and detained. And it's hilarious because we've just shown that it's the SFS, the bad guys, that are spreading the propaganda.
Right.
But they're also saying propaganda is not going to be tolerated, which is very much fitting, right? And this bottom scene was so fun, the bar scene.
And the thing with this one too is, we threw the wasted wages in there, but they sponsored us as we were in the works of this book. So we actually had to go through and change or edit quite a bit and put a lot more stuff in there. But we also have sneak peeks from other characters in our Judgment books.
Right.
But I believe that Barrel's sitting back there. Barkeep tells him, shut the music off. We got that good old cantina music.
Barkeep, turn that shit off because there's the propaganda's playing on big screens. Those screens in the back. And he goes, shut up, Barrel, it's on every channel. And then you got some soldiers walking in. It's too bad we have orders to shut this place down. Hell yeah, I've made good money at wasted wages cornhole tournaments. So that's just kind of showing that the personalization, even soldiers involved have been part of this community, which is very much a tie into any kind of war. Family fighting family or turning on friends because they're soldiers. Soldiers first. Okay?
Right.
So that's kind of where we went with that one. You can turn the page now.
Turn the page every now and then.
And this is really where this book starts to involve Marty. Top left, you got soldiers at a doorway. We have orders. We're shutting you down. And I love this little details. Our artist, he goes and puts this sign this little plaque on the wall with a stamp on it and everything. Galactic Research Facility, with a big star rating, right? Another soldier yelling, "You're under arrest." And now we don't, just from that image, you don't know who they're talking to, right? And that's where storytelling comes into play. Mom, Dad, what's happening? You know, a thought bubble, right? And don't run, Marty. It will only make matters worse. And you've got this guy, and little detail on his shirt that says SFS intern. And he kind of looks slimy. Your parents are being detained. You're the keys. You are the key to so much more than you know. And he's holding him tight. And Marty responds. And whose joke was this? Yo, rule number 4: don't trust slime balls.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a reference, kind of like to Zombieland. Was it Zombieland? Rule number 4.
Zombieland. Yeah, Zombieland.
Yeah, from CIS.
Oh, it was. It was NCIS.
Yeah,
NCIS.
Yeah. Yep.
Zombieland would have been cardio, stretching.
Marty, come back! I'm out of here. He runs away from the slime ball. And he runs into a lab, screech! And you see another guy, and this is super important, dude. Here enters our hero, our artist. He's drawn himself into the book. Marty, it's me, Commander Wolf. Make sure the door locks. And we had a lot of dialogue and that I needed to put in the story to tell. And it was so fun coming up how to put it all in. And again, thanks to our creative dialogue guy and our artist, we all kind of had to play with different ideas until this all came out. Like, how are you going to get all this? Because originally I was just going to have you have, like, a dialogue down the side of the book, like in so many comic books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And instead we made it part of the conversation. And I loved it. Sorry about your parents, lad. Jack and Diane are my closest friends. You gonna sing it?
Here's the ditty about Jack and Diane.
The SFS is shutting this place down and arresting everyone. Marty, you must come with me. There's a lot going on here you won't understand. Marty tries to... My parents mentioned you, but... Marty, we don't have time right now for dialogue. And I thought that was hilarious. That was Reno. I'm saying, hey, we gotta get dialogue in here. And he directly like, we don't have time for dialogue.
I love it. Yeah, that's also one of the things that we go through in our household. Like, there's I live in a house full of brilliant ladies.
I was gonna say, careful.
Yeah. Well, they really like to give you all the details, like every bit of it, and so sometimes you just gotta, get in the car. We gotta go. Tell me on the way.
It's fun because you're detail oriented, and even on his patch, on his left patch over his heart, you've got wings because he's a commander, right?
Yep. We did that. We did that live too. That wasn't something I just added. We had to lean on our military guy and be like, what kind of...
Well, wasn't it him that pointed out? He's like, well, so he's a commander then, right?
Yeah.
I think kind of some wings on him.
Exactly.
So we found something that we could get away with. Obviously, we didn't want to put anything too detailed on there, but that was a fun little detail to throw in. I need you to know, or I need you to go with me right now. Before we go, I need your help retrieving something that is vitally important to all humanity. Go ahead and go to the next page. How are we doing on time?
You're good.
Good.
40 minutes. We'll make it just in time.
Yep.
You laughed at me when I said it'll only take 5 minutes to get through the book. Yeah.
I did. Yep. we know. We know.
I love this because, our artist in detail. That window with the guy through the window going, looking at his intercom on his wrist, going, "Find the boy," and they're ducked down below it. Place your hand over the scanner. Such good detail, and it comes to even just adding the sound effects and the visual of the steam coming out of the door and switching open. It was epic. And you have this floating table. I kind of thought of like Indiana Jones with the which book? What's the first Indiana Jones with the?
Is it Raiders?
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and
Isn't there one just called Indiana Jones? No, they all had different things.
yeah.
But anyways, vault opens up and voila, it's looking there for everybody. And he runs over to this case, pulls it off. There's a symbol. Again, another thing that Walter was like, "Hey, can we come up with a symbol for the case?" Sure. Do you have anything you care about, Mike? No. You got something in mind?
Yeah,
So there's a case symbol there, and I don't know if he wants to reveal what it represents or not, or it represents anything. I don't know if it matters.
represents our good faith, I guess. I don't know.
Marty.
We have plans for it. We have plans for it, but we're not revealing
Yes,
it.
yeah, it will come out later. Marty, the contents of this case are vital to the survival of the Resistance. See, he said vital a couple times, so if you guys haven't figured out, it's important. And Screech! I had a feeling that would set off alarms. And again, that goes to our comic dialogue guy, right? It's go time, lad, this way. And that was Reno. What would you say? And that's exactly what you said you'd say, right?
Yep, it's go time.
Radio check, JoJo. Are you in position? And we get some communication between him and JoJo. Because JoJo the Brave was going to be in the last page, and we ran out of pages for this book. But she's very important. First person you're going to have in the next book that they come across. So we needed communication with her. So that's where we slipped that in. What were you saying, Reno? Sorry.
Go ahead, you're good.
Okay. JoJo here. I'll be there. And then you got a soldier going, I'll take the big guy. You get the case. Copy that. And they see the exit, come around the corner, pow. Big guy gets punched by a soldier. And yet the guy that said, copy that. Ooh, that was easy. I got it. And I love that was easy. I think of the easy button. Was it Staples that did the easy button?
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
I had an easy button, I remember, given to me for our wedding. And I was like, that's a joke. But okay.
Nothing easy about relationships. None of them.
Yeah. No. And another one where we did our swear word. They got it. What now? Language, lad. I get knocked down.
And I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down. I love it.
Again, that's our hero drawing it, and he just decided to put his own music in there. We're moving right along, 2 pages left. And a lot of the wording was small, and that's some of the main feedback we got was it was a great story, but wording was super small. But I looked at 100 comic books, and I realized it's pretty common. But a lot of our supporters, family, and people that aren't necessarily as familiar with it, and they were like, just if we're going to give you anything, just watch on the size of the font. So that's something we're going to take into effect. Is just legibility of being able to see the dialogue.
Right.
It's hard.
This is one of my, as I've been looking at it, as I've had it in my hands, this next page is one of my favorites. not necessarily. I just wanted to point this out. I mean, if not for our listeners, but for us at least, the dark lines in between the breaks, and then the shattered action scenes in the front. The goofy, the guys in the corner, in the top left-hand corner, those goofy guys, like, it's fun to me. That's just fun to me.
Yeah. Who does he think he is? Is he pointing over his shoulder?
Yeah.
He got up. There's three of us, like, they're challenging him, right?
Yeah.
Take this. And JoJo over the Cubs. I'm in position. And he can't answer, he's fighting.
Right.
And I love it how it shows this soldier coming in for a punch, and stop, boom, catches him. And I love how you pointed out the black line, and he's literally stepping off page with his foot.
Right.
I just went nuts with that. I'm like, how? What? That's like fourth wall, like stepping out of the narrative.
Right.
And again, JoJo going, where are you? And the soldier that punched him and had got his hand caught, not good, so not good. And this was a fun action scene for you were wanting a swinging scene, and you got your swinging scene.
It's not something we've done a lot of like action fight scenes, and they will be in the next ones. So.
Well, you will do, because you got this one done before you got into Judgment, and you went nuts with your fight scenes in there. So this was a little break loose, right?
Right.
So, Marty picks up the case. I got it. Good. JoJo again. Hello. We're out of time. And I'll use my rocket boots to get us out of here. And this next page, go ahead and go to the next. This was
last
fun.
page is awesome.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there going through my comic books as we're writing along, and I was like, hey, I found you a dynamic picture. And I showed him one of Superman flying through the air holding a guy. And he interpreted it, and boom, this was a beautiful page. Again, a lot of black, and it still just makes it pop.
Yep.
JoJo, we're coming in hot. And we got Marty yelling, good old Elton John, right?
Right.
And JoJo, ready to receive. And that's the end scene. That's going into the next book. And then it was funny because I had a whole bunch of dialogue I needed to fit in. And it was just great how we were able to move the page over, adjust it, slip in a meanwhile. And I just wanted to do a shout out here. General Elseray. Unfortunately, the boy and the case got away. Elseray, I had a childhood friend who passed away back in 2018. And, we're definitely a part of our past. We carry that on with us, and people that have made a difference in our lives and even inspired. I probably would never have been brave enough to start writing a comic book and accept the invite to be part of this. It hadn't been for my friendship with that childhood friend and some of his health issues, mental health issues, and be able to try anyways with his own creativity. And so Elseray was his gamer tag. And so we decided to keep that, got permission from the family, and that's a shout out to him. Unfortunately, he is the evil general, but he would have loved it. So, then we got Elseray going, we will find your son, we will find E.V.I.C. And that's the first mention of E.V.I.C. in the book.
But it's also a position that, like, it's a character that's not going to be gone, right? Like, we'll be able to keep him alive.
That's your first hint at the bad guy.
Right.
That's like Darth Sidious right there. And then we've got encrypted message to any resistant allies out there. With Earth's destruction, many of the fears of the Galactic Alliance have been confirmed. Mars' government has taken over. They call themselves the Space Force Supreme. So that's the SFS. They have taken complete military control of the solar system. My good friends have been arrested, and all their work has been shut down and research confiscated. Well, mostly. I managed, along with rescuing their son, to get EVIC. Hope is not lost. Commander Walt out. And that's just a little, like, end of the book blurb to move on to kind of give you a recap, also make it part of the story.
Right.
As it's going. And that leads right into your book, or to your scene.
So, our scene...
Don't have, right?
You what?
We did the cover on here.
Right. I think I still have the cover, so we're good. We did it on a live and different things, and
so you can eliminate that now if you want.
Let me do that.
So we can give you more spotlight.
Make sure I don't miss it.
I gave you 9 minutes left. You're welcome.
That's all we need, baby. That's all we need. Let's go.
All right.
So, what we got going on here, I'm going to move this over a little bit more, and we're going to make it a little bit bigger. All right. What we've got going on is, I'm going to read it first. So, book 4 starts out page 2. This is, you'll be seeing all of the art, the penciling anyways, from page 2. And so a little similar image here from the last time, where he's just got he's got Marty by the arm. Captain Walt's got Marty by the arm, and he's flying through the air. But page 2,
I like how he's hanging dear to the case.
Yep, he's got the case in his hand. A blast took out the entire opening as Marty and Walt fall through. We land aboard a small shuttle. A beautiful teen girl turns and says, "That was too close." Walt responds, "That a girl, Jojo. Great catch." We make a daring escape in a small shuttle. Shots rain down on them as they fly away, the craft taking a little damage. And what is...
That's dialogue he gets from you guys.
Yeah, that's the narrative for... So Mike and I both will write out, and we'll write these things out, and then we go back and we page break them. And then it comes to me, and I'll do my best, and then we'll get together, and then we'll go back and forth on it. When it's all approved, then we start inking, and then we'll color, or in this case, we'll do grayscale. And then, and I cannot wait to grayscale this image. This is going to be a lot of fun. You know, it's so.
And our contract up there in the right corner is probably just sitting there going, "Yep."
Right, like it's.
I've already got ideas here, boys.
Yeah, and so that's my job, is just to inspire thought. You know, when you look at an image, what goes through your brain? And Rookeycomics is, we're raw, we're vulnerable, and that's not just because we need to move on and get some books out. That's because that's how we live our lives, right? And we encourage others, the kids we coach, the friends that we have, and like, you just have to be vulnerable, or you're gonna lie to yourself. When we're not able to be vulnerable, then we tend to keep ourselves at a higher level in our brains, if that makes sense to you guys. But yeah. I mean, we tend to think of ourselves as more like perfect, and we don't know what our real capabilities are. And so
you can't fix being broken, right?
Yep. So we have to do that. So Blast takes out the entire opening. I might be able to make this smaller so I can see right now I can't see my drawing on the page. I cannot.
We did pretty good here. I can see it.
Good. All right. Well, so yeah, I've got Captain Walt and Marty blasting out of the those marks in the back. They'll be white, right? We'll have a lot of black background and a lot of highlights of white, basically, because it's gray, black, and white. And then I've got a scene of them. They'll be falling through the sky. So we've got kind of an elevated position here on Marty's head. We'll get Marty drawn in there. I don't have a head on him, right now. But his arms are flailing. Still holding on to the case. We've got our image on the case. And then Captain Walt's here. And his boots aren't working at this point. I'll have them falling into a speedster. It's just a speedster we designed. It's got multiple purposes, but we won't reveal that right now. And then Mike and I, actually right before chat, we had a conversation about this. He wanted a beautiful teen girl. He wanted JoJo here, JoJo's face. And we have decided to put that off, right? And put her in her full gear, because we're basically in war right now. Yep, she's in mission gear. And so there's another moment where we'll introduce her and another girl together. And so that'll be good. And then I got a scene here where Captain Walt's just looking forward. Marty's sitting up, basically rubbing his head. And he'll be saying, "Ugh, I think I landed on something funny." Whatever, I won't give that away. Walt will come up with something fun, I'm sure. I think I landed on a squirrel.
I know I should have had that Twinkie before flying.
Right? But he's excited, right? Like, is that a girl, JoJo? Good catch. And then we're going to have a scene. This may change. They're big buildings and square buildings and stuff, and there's not.
What?
There are buildings like this in this area, but they're more like futuristic, right? And so I just wanted to get a position of them being fired on. Like, this is not swoosh marks from the car; these are bullets, And then that's a conversation I have to have with Mike. Like, have we had? Do we have the capabilities of lasers at this point, or are we shooting bullet rounds? Are we shooting tracers? Like, or what are we doing?
I think lasers are fine.
Lasers are fine. So then,
and we're living in Mars.
Right.
Basically, it's.
Yep. And then I've got a picture here. Walt's probably going to be losing his mind. His baby girl's driving, and evasive maneuvers, or something like fun.
Other left.
There you go. And then
no backseat driving. Driving.
Back here we've got Marty's gonna be like, we got a problem, and then he's gonna look down. He's gonna be looking backwards. So like we would have Captain Walt, over here, and then.
The back of the head.
Yeah, the back of their heads, and then the front of the racer, maybe with JoJo's little knuckles here or something. Her driving.
It's not funny. He draws in all this awesome detail. We actually were like, the focus is on the person up above. You can fade a lot of that.
Right, and then we'll get all this inked and we'll get all this colored, and then the word box will go like right here, like no more JoJo, But that's fine. It's okay. It really is.
He says it's fine. If it was fine, he wouldn't have pointed it out.
Yeah, I was just
take that he went through the effort of drawing it.
Right. So, and then what would your guys' thoughts be? Let's start back. Let's
I love the whole page. You read the dialogue.
Yeah.
And you got everything that I gave you. Yes, you changed the beautiful teen girl to a soldier in action. Perfect. It fits.
Yeah.
And it actually applies to, because when we had written the book and gone through it on my birthday and you were drawing it, we changed the scene.
Yeah.
And decided you were going to come back and change this anyways, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And put her in that because it fits later on. And then you lost all that. So it works out. We're starting from scratch.
And
but
I believe and I don't think this is me being like arrogant or anything like that. I mean, obviously the art's better this time around than it was, but I also think that I did a better job of staying on the script. Because
Yes.
the one that we had before was really based on a lot of conversations that we had about what JoJo was doing outside. Like, you know, and if you know her, she is artistic as they come, musically drawing, and she's outside graffitiing on the wall. She was putting the same mark that's on the briefcase on the side of the wall. And it gave a little bit of it communicated a little bit more of what their getaway vehicle was, but we scrapped that, right? Like, and we had the opportunity when it was in front of us. We were like, oh, I don't know, and it really was hurt. We were really starting to cram things in. It got me off of the script. It was painful, but
We're at time.
all right. Well, everybody, go ahead.
So we got.
Yeah.
I got reminded today we have Comic-Con coming up next month.
Comic-Con. Which Comic-Con?
Twin Falls.
Twin Falls Comic-Con.
We chose not to participate as a booth, but I hope we're all gonna go support it and be part of it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to clarify because I know we brought it up before. But
Yep.
Well, that's good for our fans to know. We aren't gonna have a booth there, but we will be supporting. Let's support the Magic Valley Comic Con.
Yeah. Absolutely. Maybe we'll let everybody know when and where we'll be somewhere they can show up, and then we could walk around as a Rookeycomics family or something, you know. So yeah, stay tuned to that. Stay tuned for updates on the book release. Right now our plans are we are going to be releasing a graphic novel of Barrel. It will be 5 books all in one. You'll get them all together. We'll also be releasing the first comic of the 5-book series of Barrel, and then we'll be releasing Busty Babes Origin Story Book 1 and Origin of Woe Book 4, and we're busy. That's a lot right there, right? So 7 books, and Mike's got his eyes going. He's like, oh boy, we better get going. It's like yep. Goose baby. So you heard it here. You can call us liars later if we don't get it done, but this is one of our favorite things to do.
Goals are stars to reach for.
Yeah.
Not sticks to beat yourself with.
Yeah. Hey, nobody thought we'd get the other ones out, and we did. And so we'll see what we can do. But we love all of you guys, and thanks for all you do and the roles that you've played in our lives. So until next time, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Keep it all.
Keep it raw.
Stay vulnerable.
Good night, everybody. Bye now.